One mistake is not going to decapitate your entire channel, but creators seem to think that. Now then, hey folks, I'm Rob. Welcome back to vidIQ, educating you on your YouTube journey. And today's education is all about YouTube mistakes. These are the YouTube mistakes you've already made. These are the YouTube mistakes that no doubt, even after watching this video, you will still make. I know this from personal experience because despite all I know about YouTube and all of the videos I've made, I still make YouTube mistakes because after all, I'm only human. You know, right now, I could be making a YouTube mistake by laboring too long on this intro about YouTube mistakes. There is a reason for this, a supposed myth that if you say a certain keyword enough times in the first 30 seconds to a minute of a YouTube video, it might surface more in search about YouTube mistakes. So YouTube mistakes, YouTube mistakes, YouTube mistakes. Am I making a mistake right now by saying YouTube mistakes too much? And can you even tell I'm saying YouTube mistakes from my accent? We'll find out in about a week after we publish this video whether or not this is ranking for YouTube mistakes. Once again, for regular viewers, you find me in this alternative studio setup. Two observations. Somebody thought I'd strategically placed this ring light here so it looked like a halo effect on me, and of course I did. And then somebody observed that there was a spider behind me, somewhere back there, but I went through the entire video and I have no idea what they're talking about. Anyway, let's start giving you some value in this video about YouTube mistakes before the subscribe button appears along the bottom. I've got to make sure to give you some value before that appears so it triggers you to subscribe to my channel, even though I've already said that I don't care about YouTube subscribers. I'm more interested in return viewers. Maybe that's another mistake. All right, less of a waffle. Let's get down to YouTube mistakes, starting with thumbnails. When it comes to thumbnails, however important you think they are right now, they're at least twice as important as that. However long you spend making your thumbnails, well, in the future, spend twice as long as that. I happen to believe that the most valuable currency on YouTube is time, but it works differently for different stakeholders on YouTube, those being YouTube themselves, advertisers, viewers, and creators. For example, when it comes to time for creators, they want as much as possible. That increases their watch time, average view duration, audience retention, 4,000 hours of watch time. You get the idea. But when it comes to the viewer browsing through content, time means something completely different. They want to know what they're going to watch within a fraction of a second by looking at the thumbnail and the title. Now, I want you to try a little bit of an experiment here. Do a search on the mobile app of YouTube and you'll probably get 2 results on screen, possibly 3 thumbnails at most. And what I want you to do, I know this is going to sound crazy, but close your eyes for around about 5 seconds and then just blink and look at the thumbnail, and you tell me, perhaps in the comments, which thumbnail stood out more. On average, you're looking at a thumbnail for a second or less. Now, I'm not going to take credit for this tactic. I'm currently reading Derek Lee's book, The YouTube Formula, and he suggested doing something similar, and I get where he's coming from. You could also do this with your channel. So go to the video tab, scroll down until you can see nothing but thumbnails, and again, close your eyes for a few seconds and then blink. See which thumbnails stick out. If there are any thumbnails at all that are jumping out, then I'm afraid your thumbnails are not grabbing a viewer's attention. If, on the other hand, there are 1 or 2 thumbnails on your channel that do jump out of the screen and into your eyeballs, then this could be an indication of thumbnails that really work on your channel, and you can use them as possible templates going forward. Now, as a little side segue, vidIQ does have a tool to help you do this to some extent. Before you even publish your video, you can put a search term into our thumbnail preview tool, and it will compare that video, its title and its thumbnail, against those videos that already rank for that search term to see if you are competitive. Now, there are all sorts of common little mistakes that creators make more often than not, using far too much text on their thumbnails. Remember, economy of time. Viewers are looking at your thumbnails for a very short amount of time. The more text is on screen, the more they have to read and decode the thumbnail. Often that text blocks out something important in the thumbnail itself. Repeating the title in the thumbnail just feels like a waste. And also consider the size at which most viewers will see your thumbnail. You're designing it on a big desktop screen. Viewers are seeing it at postage stamp size on a mobile phone. So it still needs clarity at that size. With that in mind, try to use no more than 3 dominant colors. Any more and it just gets a little muddy. Try to think about how many elements you're going to use in your thumbnails. Again, if you use more than 4 or 5 elements, there's too much on screen, there's too much to decode. You know how at the beginning I was saying that thumbnails are more important than you think they are and you should spend more time on them? Well, flip that on its head when it comes to the complexity of a thumbnail. Your thumbnails right now are probably far too complicated. They probably have far too many colors. They probably have far too many elements. So the next time you make one, simplify. I didn't really take thumbnails seriously until about 2 or 3 years ago. This might be because when I first started out on YouTube, custom thumbnails were not available to me. At the time, and we're talking about a decade ago, custom thumbnails were something that were only available to people in the YouTube Partner Program. So without any access, I didn't put that much attention into them. And when I did get access to custom thumbnails, what I mostly did was an icon or an object representing what I was covering in tech, and then lots and lots and lots of text. Yeah. Rudimentary, to say the least. So if there's one tangible thing that I want you to take away from this video, it's that thumbnails are really important and you likely should be spending a lot more time on them. The next mistake is less tangible. It's more to do with mindset. And that is assuming that YouTube is pretty much all about 2 metrics, those being views and subscribers. Especially subscribers. Now, I grant you, there is some irony here because many of you may have discovered vidIQ through searching for how do I get more subscribers or how do I get more views on YouTube. Unfortunately, that is a game that we have to play with because we know people search for that term. We have to sometimes create videos that cater to that very surface level search term. But as many of you will know, YouTube is about so much more than views and subscribers. Even if we just go to the next surface level, we're talking about watch time and average view duration and click-through rate and impression. You know, the next layer we might peel back reveals relative audience retention and traffic sources. A creator wouldn't just want to know how many views or subscribers they got in a day. They might want to know how many new people discovered their content and how many people returned to their content after watching previous videos, all of which now YouTube provides in analytics. When a creator asks us the question of how do I get more views and how do I get more subscribers, I'll be honest in saying that I don't think that creator is ready yet for the complexities of YouTube. So my simple response to that question from now on is make more videos. If you make more videos, you gain more experience, you'll improve your skill set, and you will get, crucially, data that you can take action on in the future. Once you've done that 50 to 100 times, then you'll have some more nuanced questions about how to grow your YouTube channel. And now this is the perfect point at which to do this. Oh yeah, oh yeah. The next YouTube mistake, weirdly enough, is all about making YouTube mistakes. As soon as you start your channel, you're going to be making mistakes, and that's okay because you're going to learn from them. But when you've started to have some success on your YouTube channel and you're building an audience, you can fall into a comfort zone, or you can start to think that your YouTube channel is made of glass, and if you make any mistakes on that channel, it's going to shatter. One mistake is not going to decapitate your entire channel, but creators seem to think that, and so they don't want to risk upsetting the YouTube algorithms by testing something different. Remember, your entrepreneurial spirit in creating a YouTube channel and testing and experimenting with different things is what resulted in success on your channel in the first place. I'm as guilty as anyone regarding this, especially on my old tech channel, where I would just make endless videos about the same topic because I knew that would bring in a certain audience, views, subscribers, and so on. And sometimes I've done that a little bit on this channel. I know that we could get a lot of views and subscribers by just making how to get 4,000 hours of watch time, how to get 100 subscribers, how to start a gaming channel. That's our evergreen content. We know our foundations. But this very video is an attempt to break that cycle of comfort. I have no idea if these 2-camera monologues are going to be successful. At the same time, I had no idea if viewers were going to find our content on copyright issues interesting. But I took the risk, I made videos, and those have proven to be successful, so we'll do some more of them in the future. But I always want to be testing, and I always want to be experimenting. That's why I've decided, certainly in the last couple of weeks, to be more transparent with you about the things I'm doing here on vidIQ, and also our analytics. Audience retention on our videos here at vidIQ, on average, is around about 40%. And that, on the surface, seems really bad, and I'm trying my best to improve that. On average, we lose a third of our viewers in the first 30 seconds, and I personally think that is terrible. That's why I'm experimenting with different types of introductions. But if I look at the relative audience retention on our videos, it's higher than the average. So maybe I'm trying to solve a problem that isn't actually there. In the YouTube education space, the numbers we have are good, and they probably are, given the size of a channel. When you start to worry if one video is going to impact your channel, you're thinking about the system and the algorithm rather than your community. Even when you have had some success on YouTube, never stand still, because YouTube is always changing. And now we come to the next mistake, which is worrying too much about the technology. Your skill set matters a lot more than your technology. Take Mr. Beast as an example. Before he turned into the mega channel that he is today, with around about 60 million subscribers and a whole production team behind him, he gained his first 100,000 subscribers through nothing more than an iPhone 5. LOL. Absolutely, you should always be looking at ways to up your production quality with new technology when you can afford it. But more importantly, master the technology you have to hand now. For me, it's been playing around with the lighting for the last 12 months. I've gone through so many iterations of panel lights, ring lights, little diffusers, and I'm getting to a point now where I'm actually satisfied with the way I look on camera. I just need to improve the way I present on camera. But we've already spoken about that in another video. And then we come to research. Most creators don't put in the research because they just want to create. Again, I'm very guilty of this. In this particular example, I'm not necessarily talking about keyword research, although that does matter a lot. Knowing the language of your audience can be crucial for that title, and what you say on camera, as I've done in this video, YouTube mistakes, along with descriptions as well. What I'm more talking about here is the content that exists on YouTube in your space. Going out onto YouTube and searching for topics that you think your audience are searching for. Watching successful channels and not necessarily imitating them, but taking all of their best aspects and putting your own words, your own spin, your own riff on that content within a topic can be a good starting point. We can take the YouTube education space as a good example. We're all pretty much talking about the same things. Growing your channel, turning it into a business, earning money. We take something objective and make it subjective. But if you watch each of us creators, we'll all talk about it and present it in a different way, because we all have our own unique styles. And it's all down to viewer and audience opinion. Which style do you like most? I'm going to be honest with you again and say that this different format of video is influenced a little bit by some of the content that Sean Cannell is making on Think Media. But he does that so much better than me. But he's not as funny as me. Or actually, he probably is. So, yeah, I can't win. But again, I will admit, I'm still completely out of my comfort zone with this style of video format. What I will say, if you watched my previous similar video to this, I've not used a script at all this time. I do have some bullet points over to the right-hand side, but I've not referenced them really at all. I am giving you, the viewer, more attention this time, but it does mean that I feel as if I'm waffling a little bit more. Again, you're going to be the judge of that. So in summary, this video is all about the big mistakes YouTube creators make, which in turn could be a huge mistake of a video. As long as we all agree on that, I'll see you in the next one.